All right, welcome back everybody to episode 26. It's been a couple weeks now since we last were on, and well, in that time I've finished up the trees on our little pillager outpost island. And I think overall the place is looking amazing, looking quite epic, and so far only pillagers have spawned in this arena and one other spot. I've had one pillager the entire time I finished this whole place spawn in one other spot, and it's right back here, hidden and tucked away. We turn on our little overlay, we can see right here we have a 6. And I always thought that, these were spawn proof. But I've been proven wrong about something once again, and that's okay because we can fix that very simply. But for now, we can enjoy everything that's around here. We can turn that off real quick once we land. And so we really have a couple last things I want to do in here before we move on back to our underground labyrinth. And the first one is right here. And I haven't exactly figured out what type of stable I want to put here. I know the general aesthetics I want for it. I want it dirty, kind of shambly, definitely made mostly out of wood, but I just can't find a real life example of what I'm trying to put there. And the two games I'm modeling this place mostly after don't have any stables in them themselves. So I'll have to work on something there, but I definitely want to find a reference image. The second thing I want to work on is finally connecting this place up with the mainland. Right now, it's an island itself that has no port, no bridge, nothing. And so, I'm wanting to make a nice little bridge from this point here, and I'm thinking we're going to aim it that direction. Now, originally, I was thinking maybe a slight diagonal right there where those trees are, but as we can kind of peer down, we're one, two, I guess we'll call it 3 blocks off from the water level. And if we land here on the first level, second level, third, we're already really going right up into this mountain. And it'd just be kind of an awkward feel to put it there. There'd be a lot of terraforming I'd have to do either side I went over here. And I mean, for pillagers, raiders, people I have envisioned here, I just don't think they would do any of that. They would shoot for the easy route, which again, would just be right over here if we can navigate through these trees successfully, which will just right be by all these ferns, and it'll kind of put it way back here a little bit. And I think that's fine. We already have a natural clearing. I haven't cleared out anything here. So that's what we'll shoot for as our second little goal. Our third one, I'm going to have to talk to because I know he wanted to build a little mushroom room here. And from where we last saw it, no more progress has been made. So I'll have to see if he's still wanting to do something there. And then, if not, we'll take over that. We'll also plant some more mushrooms all over the island to give it a little more color if he's not wanting to do that. And then that'll be it for this place. And I mean, I'm very happy with how it's looking and how it's turned out. And yeah, I won't have anything else on my docket for here other than calling this place done and visiting it whenever I need to get Bad Omen. So let me get with let me try and find a good reference image if I don't fall off everything. And then, yeah, we'll finish this place up and head right back under to our dungeon and become molemen again, to where we won't see the light of day for many more episodes. So let's hop to that, finish everything up, clear up our little chest monster, put our last little, probably just a couple trees or maybe a farm right there, and finish everything up here. I hope y'all are liking it. I hope you think it looks just as fantastic as I think it looks. And yeah, enough dilly dallying. Let's hop right to it. with, I think if I find an image right for this, we'll start with a time lapse. If not, we're gonna cut right back with a nice completed bridge. I'll talk to y'all in just a second. All right, just like that, we finished up the exterior and we just gotta place these last couple of buckets in here to fill up these cauldrons. And then we're ready to move our skeleton horses in here. And so I finally found an image that I was happy with for how I wanted this to look. So we'll get that little view again right here. And you can just see it's pretty run down type of build. And I actually didn't find this online. Where I found this was just driving around. There was this old like warehouse in the middle of a field, and it had like this wallpaper kind of on the outside, and there was like things all over it, which I'm trying to represent with these like little black marks that are on the birch log. And there was parts where it had peeled off and just exposed the wood underneath, which is what I'm doing with the strip there. And then there was just parts where it was dirty overall, and that's just what the calcite is. And I think it looks really good. It even had a little trim that followed around the outside, and you know, to me it just screamed a little rundown raider place like is here. And I know it doesn't necessarily fit the rest of the color scheme around here, but I think that makes sense for them and how they would have done their builds here. So let's grab our skeleton horses real quick and move them all in here. Why won't it let me grab these? There we go. Okay, 2, 3. Grab you, you, and you. Alright, follow me, guys. And so we'll just go ahead and get them in there, and we should be all done once we get that. There we go, final one in. Alright, and they're all in, seeming to just want to stand on top of their water cauldrons, but we've gotten them in their pens, and I know your initial thoughts probably, there's no real way to get them out, and that's exactly what I want. I don't want them to ever come out. They're now going to be in here forever as just a little decoration piece for our lovely little barn here. So I think we'll now just run right over there and build ourselves up that bridge. It's not going to be anything fancy again because we're going with dilapidated, run down, hastily built items this entire time. So yeah, let's just get ourselves a nice rundown bridge built, and then we'll finish up the last little things in this area and consider this place all done. Alright, so I've gone to my creative world and I designed on myself a nice little bridge, and it fits perfectly across. I changed up the path a little bit just so it curves more at the end and flows right into it, but that's the bridge. That's how it'll go. It'll end up right under here. I've smoothed out the terrain a bit, and if we fly out a bit, we can see if we kind of follow that up, it leads almost naturally to this village here, which, I mean, it's kind of great. This is the village where I started that raid I spoke about earlier, and they're still all there, so might as well be another portion of our raid farm at this point. But let's go ahead and gather up everything we need for this rickety old bridge and get her built. So I'll talk to y'all when I have the first stages in, and then we'll finish her up together. Alright, we've gotten the majority of it done now, and I have some oak trapdoors to just finish the rest of it up. But most importantly, I wanted to show y'all that the structure goes all the way down to the bottom. Because maybe you're not like me, but whenever I see floating stuff, it ruins the immersion for me. And also, thanks to that, I found this neat little hole right here, where it's actually an air pocket under here. That's pretty fun. And it's all because this gravel collapsed. Alright, let's get out of this darkness for a second. Put these last little trap doors in there, and then this bridge will be done. And we're ready to clean it all up and move on to the next thing. So just gotta find wherever I've left these gaps, place trap doors here and there. Oh, and we'll be good to go. Alright, well, with one death later and everything wrapped up and tidied up on the island, let's take one final cinematic tour of it and enjoy how great it looks with some shaders on. So here we go. Well, after we finished cleaning up over there, we are now back in a familiar place. That's right, the chapel of the dungeon. I believe I left y'all off with a promise of doing something when we came back, that being banners. So, what I want to do is just go around here and place the appropriate amount of banners everywhere I can think of that they should go. And of course, we'll have to put them in different states of disarray. And that will be a little difficult with some of the smaller banners, but like on this big bright red mangrove wood altar behind me, we're going to slap some banners on there that represent the warden worshippers that lived in this underground area. And hopefully we make it look good. So let me go try out a couple of banner designs and we'll be right back. Well, I've decided on a banner and it's right here. It's quite a simple one, but I think it's going to look fantastic around there. So let's plop it down. And this is what we have. We kind of got that warden head and like that mystical feeling all around it. And I know this is technically a wither skull head, but just with the little antlers kind of coming off makes it feel more like a warden to me. So let's break this and go and place it in the chapel and then all around the areas down here. And I'll probably have to make more, so that's why I have a bunch of sticks and light blue wool, because it's a light blue base on this one. And so with that, I've already placed one here and one over on that side there. You can slightly see it. Let's change the gamma, see if that affects. Yeah, it's right there waving in the wind. But now let's go place this inside the chapel, and then we'll discuss where else we're going to go with it. All right, with that, I placed the right amount in the chapel, I believe. I was originally going to fill the whole thing up, but then it just looked too crowded, and I think that works really well there. And so what I'm wanting to do next is find the door actually. On those big outside areas over here, there was just some blank spaces, and I want to add a banner that kind of looks like this there. I mean, it's very limited with the wall, so we'll probably make sure to get this little blue beam in, this head, and then we'll try and add some of this blue color just so we recognize it as this banner when we're out there. So let's go ahead and build those, and I'll bring y'all back in just 1 second. Alright, and just like that, I've finished both of them up. I've placed some more banners around some different areas. And then, yeah, I finished up this banner, and it looks good. I added a little bar across the top to represent, when you hang these up, it has that slight bar right there. And so I added the bar up here just to represent that, and I think it turned out really well. The nice colors on it. Only thing I'm thinking of changing maybe is lightening up this little streak on the side so that that head sticks out a little more. But I'm happy with it for now. What I'm not as happy with and trying to figure out how to fix is this one here. I wanted to do one that was kind of fallen on one side and a little diagonal, and it just, you can't really tell quite what it is. I got that diagonal part right where it's kind of falling down a bit, but everything doesn't line up now. And this block, and this block are the mouth, that's the nose, these two are an eye, that's another eye. It just, I don't know, it doesn't work, if we're being honest. And I'm thinking I'll probably have to go back to just like that one over there and make it smooth across the top. Otherwise, it's just, yeah, it's just not good if we don't change it. I don't know. Maybe I'll get a second opinion. Maybe I'm being too critical. But if in the next scene this is changed, you know that someone else agreed with me, and it's not good at all. So give me a sec. All right. So I had Sven come over to look at it, and his response was, "Give me 2 seconds. I might have a solution." But honestly, I'm not expecting much. I think it's gonna be one of those, tear it down and start over with that one there, which I'm not upset about. I mean, I tried to make it work, but yeah, it's not good, really. All right, well, it was agreed upon and rightfully so that just it did not look good crooked. So now we have two nicely square cross built banners that I think work really well in this room. They go well with the rest of the colors that have been all around the place. They go with this back mural here. And I guess equally of importance, they match these banners because that's what they're supposed to be, just bigger versions of this. Now, they don't look identical because this is just too detailed to put on a 7 wide area, but they look great for what they can be. And in the process of doing that, I also realized I had forgotten to texture this section of the roof up here, so I got that done as well. But now, what we've been building up to this episode, and that's finishing, well, I guess finishing digging out this section over here. It'll be a lot longer until I finish this whole area. But unlike that side that's mostly industrial use stuff like kitchens, big forges, the catacombs, and the chapel, this is going to be more of like personal living quarters, libraries, and smaller shops that would be more useful in someone's day-to-day life, whereas that's more of places where people would end up working. So let's just go ahead and start digging this out. I won't bore y'all with another time lapse, but I'll bring y'all back right exactly here whenever I have it dug out, and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, and as promised, we are right back where I left y'all off last time. And if we turn around real quick, we can see I've dug all the way to the end there. So goes a bit far down, but it mirrors exactly this one, just on the other side of the building here. So nothing too special there. Haven't even decorated at all. All I've done is a little mob protection to keep us safe. whenever we're just standing here staring, planning stuff out. Because, as y'all probably know, I plan everything. And I'll sit there for a while and look at stuff. And so I'll need that mob protection. Of course, skeletons can still get me, but one thing at a time. But I think that's all the time we have for today. So I just want to thank everyone for joining. Hope y'all have enjoyed what we've done and hope y'all are ready to join me back in the caverns for another couple of weeks. So thanks everyone, and I'll talk to y'all again next week. Bye.